Good morning. This was another Sunday and the 24.2 Open. This time, it wasn't as brutal as the first one, but it was more technically challenging just because the movement between the different stations. So you had to go on the rower and then go to the barbell and then go to your skipping rope and then go all the way again. So while physically wasn't as intensive, I felt that the movement between the station added to the difficulty. So what was the Open? The Open was 20 minutes, as many rounds as possible, doing 300 meters rowing machine, then 10 barbell deadlift, then 50 rope single unders. Well, properly it's supposed to be double unders, but I don't do double unders. So the scaled down version was single unders. Sometimes when a CrossFit exercise will be performed as a double under, the scale down will be something similar in terms of how high it gets your heart rate or your intensity, stuff like that. So they sometimes replace double unders with double taps or jump on plate or stuff like that. But in this case, the Open was you replace the double unders with single unders. And then the barbell deadlift scaled down version was 61 kilos, which is what I did. It was difficult. I do my personal best. One rep max is 122 and a half kilos, and I usually, when we do metcons like intense overtime exercises, I do somewhere between 50 and 70, and this was difficult. I don't know if it's because I the space I was in, the going down from the weekend where I went on a run, or just the fact that we haven't done deadlift for about 2 months, so it's felt heavy. Sometimes you went to a bar, you go to the bar and it feels good, and sometimes you go to the bar and it feels heavy, and this time it felt heavy. The row was fine. I actually did better on the row than I thought I would. I thought that 300 meter would be about 2 minutes. And it took me each time about a minute and a 20 seconds, something like that. I kept good pace overall. My partner Nathan kept telling me, giving me tips on how to improve my form and be more optimal and stuff like that. But to be honest, and I love you, Nathan, to be honest, that you can see it giving me the tips here. It messed with my brain. It pulled me off focus and caused me to be less, I don't know, but to be not as good. So that added to the technical difficulty, right? You finish a round, you go on the rower, and the rowing itself, it's technical exercise. You need to do it properly, quote unquote, to get good pacing. So it adds to the difficult. None of this was as bad as burpees last time, but still, the overall format of it added to the difficulty. So it was 20 minutes. I ended up doing 5 full rounds and then another 270 meters, 270 meters of the rower. So I started round 6, and that was what I thought I would do. If the first Open I wanted to finish the 15 block, That was my goal in mind, and I almost managed to do it, but not quite. This time I said I took the 20 minutes, and I thought each round will take me about 4 minutes, so divided by that, that's 5 rounds. I did a bit better than that, so I beat my expectations, and it was great. I was very proud of it. And out of all of the exercises we did, the row was better than I expected, and the deadlift was not as good as I expected. It, as I said before, it felt heavier than I expected, so it was actually the most difficult thing in this open. I thought the row would be worse. I thought the rope would be worse. But the deadlift was the worst thing. I usually love deadlift. It's my favorite exercise because it's the one I can lift the heaviest, but it really slowed me down and like put strain on my body and stuff. So it was a surprise. And then in the middle, Adam, which is the person that started the gym, he and Nathan are our partners, but Adam started all, and I know him for 6 or 7 years now. And he came along and helped morale. I called him the morale officer. At the end, you would see that I'm sprawled over the floor as usual, and he came to give me a high five and stuff. So that one, and it's here you can see in this point, they are standing there, all of them, and like looking at me. And I before I started the deadlift, I told them I can't do it when you're all looking at me, because it's like Arthur, our coach, was standing there before as well. So it's like all the people that trained me for the last 4 years are standing there and judging me. Not really, they're not judging me. So that was like an intense moment. It's more jokingly intense than really intense, but yeah. That's all. I don't have anything else to say about this open. It was fine. Again, as I said in the previous video, my results are less than mediocre even. But that's fine. I'm not training to become like this athlete. The week before that was I watched a lot of the Arnold Sports Festival in the US, and it had the Arnold Classic competition, Arnold Strongman Classic, and that really hyped me up, like seeing all those people lifting heavy things. And then I watched Mitchell Hooper's channel, and I found out like all those people are really young, like in their late 20s. I'm 37, so it's messing with my mind to think about how young those people are, because in my head they don't seem so young. Like they seem like my peers, but we have almost a decade between us, and it's obvious that it's logical that peak athletes will be young people, right? Like the most famous athletes in the world are in their early 20s, stuff like that. And it's obvious that me in late 30s won't get to be like top shape in any segment or division. So it's all very logical. But we're not doing it for that. We're doing it for us. I'm now in better shape than I've been in any time in my life. I'm in actually better health than I was when I was 16. My blood tests are better. Every measurable health metrics is better. The only measure that is not better is my weight, which I'm approaching my best weight, but not there yet. But also, I have a lot more muscle now than I had when I was like 18. So that's a good thing. So while I'm not training to become peak performance of humanity. I am training to become peak performance of me. And that's the most important thing, I think. I measure myself for myself. And that's one of the things I liked when starting in this space, in this gym, in CrossFit. Again, I usually don't talk about CrossFit as CrossFit because I don't care that it's called CrossFit. I just know that I have an environment. We do group exercises. I have a coach that explains what to do. So that's the important thing for me. That's what's pushed me forward and let me become better. And that's it. That was the 24.2 Open. And we'll see you in 24.3 in the next video. Have a beautiful day.